Okay, so good morning, or whenever you're seeing this. For me, it's morning. I just did my morning meditation, super conscious scripting session, and I couldn't not come on here, so just woke up. I couldn't fuck around with makeup and hair and all of that this morning. There's too much going on in here, and I've recently committed to myself to getting on the mic and talking these things out with you, because what I have learned is that I'm not the only one that is having all of these thoughts. Just go on this tangent with me as I work this out within myself. Okay, so first of all, yesterday's recording, I channeled through the words, your identity is your superpower. And I have been sitting with that, processing that, probably overthinking about that for the last 24 hours. And then I was just in my meditation and I just kept hearing the words, what you're conscious of is creating your reality and your identity. So then I've gone on down a whole rabbit hole of thinking about quantum shifting, quantum jumping, reality creating, all of these words that we say and these techniques that we use to live lives that we love, which is what I'm here for. I'm ultimately here to shift your paradigm to a timeline, to a reality that serves you living at your highest and best. I'm here to coach you in living limitlessly, because when you let go of the limitations, you get to be and have and see and experience and express everything that you want to. So let's just talk this out, and feel free to have conversations in the below with me. Oh my goodness, it is early for me to be speaking out loud. Usually the first few hours of my morning, I'm just talking on the inside. Anyways, oh my goodness. Why am I on here? What am I doing? What am I saying? Back to it. You are creating your identity, whether you like it or not, right? So most of us are creating our identity unconsciously. We are allowing our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind, to just do what it does, to create who and how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to show up in this world, in this reality that we think we don't have control over. But every choice, every decision, every fucking breath we take is creating a reality, because our reality is only ever now. And now, right here, right now, all that exists is whatever you are conscious of. So if you are consciously deciding to focus on this video, then this is your reality. If you are consciously choosing to focus on scrolling on Instagram and looking at people that make you feel shitty about yourself, then that's the reality you're currently creating. There's nothing else that exists than what you in this now moment are consciously aware of. Okay? So, in that moment, your identity is what is choosing that. So when we choose to be the superconscious creator of our reality, when we choose to be the limitless version of us, we choose to step into, in that moment, our power. We are living life. We are alive. We're choosing what's highest and best then. So that is when we are going to be the most magnetic. If you in the now are choosing to live unconsciously and just live in the programming that you have already coded in you that is most likely limiting you, that is going to be the reality that you see. Reality is a mirror. It is a mirror of our inner world. So the more that we are unconscious, the more we are letting our subconscious programming, our subconscious mind run the show, we are going to keep getting what we already know, because our unconsciousness or subconsciousness or self-consciousness run off of memory, run off of what we've already experienced or learned or programmed in, right? But when we flip the paradigm, when we flip the script, when we choose better for ourselves, this is great. And there's always better. When we choose better and we choose to live super consciously, when we choose to live in the now, aware and awake and conscious, even if we choose to do things that are based in our limiting programming, when we're consciously choosing it, it is always to what is highest and best for us, because we will learn through it. When you are in your bullshit and you are conscious of it, you can't not shift and change. But when you spend weeks, months, years doing the same bullshit all of the time, all that you're doing is creating this shame and blame and guilt in yourself that then you hold on to. And we push down and we push down, and it doesn't fucking go anywhere until we allow it to clear and cleanse out of us. And we clear and cleanse it out of us by being here in the now, allowing it, seeing it, being like, this isn't welcome. This isn't me. I see you. Goodbye. This is me. Guys, authentically, vulnerably. Yesterday, I literally had a shitstorm of a day. It was still a great day, but our plumbing backed up into our house. There was literally shit in my shower, like in the bottom of our shower. And so I spent my day not how I had planned it, not how I had woke up thinking I was going to be the most productive. But in the end, it ended up being a super productive day because I dealt with a lot of things that were backing up in our system, in our septic, in our pipes, into our house that had been being ignored because of maintenance not being done that we weren't aware of. So we were unaware of what was going on because we had the septic pumped. We had guys who were supposed to be doing the maintenance, but apparently there were float switches or something, I don't know. Anyways, not working to trigger the pump, blah, blah, blah. Things backed up. Things were sitting there. Things were literally flowing. And it started to get so bad that it started to overflow into our house, where then we can't not see it. We can't not smell it. We can't not deal with it. And luckily, all day yesterday, all I kept telling myself was this is all working out for me. And I knew that it was, and I had to get emergency plumbers and septic pumpers and all the things. And within 12 hours, I was able to deal with it all. Had two great men here who dealt with all of my issues and dealt with things that were really bad. And if I hadn't caught it when I did, it most likely would have been extremely damaging instead of just one, pun intended, really shitty day. But now I feel energetically better. Like I feel like on an energetic level, I knew this was going on. Anyways, that being said, this is what we do to ourselves, to our bodies, to our energetic beings, to our spirits, to our souls, to our minds, is we ignore all of the shit that is building up within us, all of the shame and blame and guilt and fears and insecurities. And we just think we can numb and run and hide and push it down and ignore it and spend our lives trying to live out here, seeking and searching for someone to validate us, to give us the answers, to wave a magic wand, to wake us up, to help us figure ourselves out. But yes, there are many things that can happen to give you those ahas, to wake you up. But like I got an aha and a wake up call from fucking sewage coming into my house, right? Like we never know. And we can let these things get to a breaking point like that, to catastrophe, or we can start to deal with our shit and become aware and conscious of what the fuck is actually going on within us sooner. Now, as much as we trusted apparently the wrong people, I still feel like it was all how it was meant to be, obviously, because it was. And everything in the end is fine. But if we do this to ourselves, if we just ignore and give our power away to others, that is what happens. That is where then we start to see all of this stuff starting to fall apart, or we feel depressed or anxious or overwhelmed. Like, I don't know how people function in the anxiety and the depression and the stress that you do. I have never identified with anxiety and depression, even though I've been diagnosed with it. I never, like when I was in my 20s, they kept trying to diagnose me with this, but it was really just I was so fucking conscious of how much I wasn't living my purpose that my soul was like, we got to move, we got to go. And as soon as I decided at 21 to open my first store and stop serving, all of my so-called anxiety went away. Now, this is maybe a little bit of a side tangent, but hey, you guys are getting me at like 6 in the morning. So here we go. The way that I see it, and I know I've heard other people talk about this and it's always resonated with me, but this is the way I've seen it. This is the way I saw it when I was fucking 20, before anxiety and and ADHD and all of these things that we now diagnose like every kid with became so popular. But anxiety to me is a lack of action. When the anxiety and excitement feel the same, it's just we've been conditioned to feel that these feelings that we don't know of the unknown are wrong, but they're the best feelings to have. And when I realize this, and I realize whenever I feel this like tingling and excitement, and it does feel like I can very much understand how it also feels like anxiety, but it is my soul excited for the unknown and what it knows is coming, because our soul is a direct line to our superconscious mind, to our highest self, which can conceive and see it all, and which speaks to us through frequency and energy. So when we feel this excitement and this ignitement and this curiosity, it scares the shit out of our unconscious and our self-conscious minds, because their function is to keep us alive and loved and validated and being a good girl or boy that we're here to be, right? Our self-conscious just wants to be approved of, and our unconscious just wants to keep us alive. And they, again, as I said before, run off of what they know. They run off our unconscious, our subconscious minds runs off of the memories and the habits and the consistency that we have been running on, surviving. And our self-conscious is just constantly seeking the praise and approval. So it wants to know what everything is going to give us. It's looking for safety and security and feeling seen and loved, but it never really truly feels that if we aren't authentically who we are, if we aren't seen for who and how and what we are. And so this goes back to our identity being our superpower, because when you are truly you, when you in the now are living and creating and being as you want to, there is literally nothing more powerful, nothing more magnetic, because that is how you are designed to be. So all of the modalities, like the amount of money and energy and time and attention that this world spends on trying to fix ourselves and trying to problem solve all the things that we think are wrong with us or wrong with our lives, on all the ways that we think we don't know what to do, hiring all of these people to tell us what to do with our lives, how to be. I mean, people have done it with me, and I love it because I know I have the best intentions, and my passion is nothing more than being a mirror of your divinity. But modalities are not going to do it for you. They are tools that can help you connect to and see and feel your truth, but you still have to be it. You have to be the identity you want to be. So you can have a human design reading, you can have your natal chart read, you can go to a psychic, a medium, any kind of healer, a hypnotherapist, a psychologist, whatever it is. You can go to anyone, to anything, read any book, and have it tell you how to be and have that resonate. And then you follow these steps in the 5 steps to be the most magnetic you, or whatever the fuck. But if you're not truly being who innately you are, it's not sustainable. It's not going to feel aligned. You won't fully feel satisfied, so you will continue to seek and search. We can keep seeking and searching for our passion. for our purpose as long as we want to. But all we have to do is unblock it and be it. We need to stop blocking our purpose, our passion, our love, our abundance, our bliss, our happiness by just being it. It is not outside of you, it is within you. And yes, the world, everything outside of you is going to mirror, activate these feelings within you. So that's why we think it's outside of us, but it's not. It is within you. And things outside of you bump into you and they will show you where you're not free, or they will show you how to be who you're here to be. And they will show you how to be who you're here to be through what excites and ignites you. But you have to be willing to be here now, noticing and aware of what you want to be aware of, because your consciousness is creating your reality, what you are conscious of in the now. I want nothing more than for you to see how limitlessly you get to live, that anything and everything is possible for you. But whatever you are focusing on is your reality, because here and now is all that exists. So what you are conscious of is what you are creating. So we can sit here as much as we want and focus on the past and replay all of the memories and keep trying to fix and problem solve the things that have already happened, or change the things that we don't like. I don't know where I heard this yesterday, but it's a quote of Buddha's, and it's one I'd heard a long time ago. But yesterday, as I was literally, again, having a shitty day, there were so many puns yesterday. The plumber I had here for like 8 hours was fucking hilarious. But anyways, I was listening to something as all of this is happening, and this quote from Buddha just hit me, and it's, the cause of suffering is wanting things to be different than they are. And it's so true. Like, that is the root cause of any way that you are currently suffering, is that you are wanting things to be different than they are, and you're trying to make them different than they are, instead of in the now seeing things are how they are, accept it, allow it, and then focus on what you want to do, what you want to do. This is how we truly quantum jump into whatever reality we want to. It is through shifting our consciousness. It is through in the now creating and being who we want to be, based in the reality that we want to live, that we are focusing our awareness and attention on. So the more that we connect, that we envision, that we imagine, that we focus on, that we listen to things, that we follow people that are doing sorts of things that we would love to do. No one else is doing it exactly your way, but there's nothing wrong with having expanders, with having people that are proof of like, this shit works, whatever it is that this shit is that you want to do. Because what you seek, you are. What you're conscious of, you are. What you are seeking, what you are conscious of, what you are paying your attention to is creating your identity. And again, back to where I started with this, your identity is your superpower, because it is what is going to draw and attract you whatever is in alignment with that. Whatever identity you're showing up as, whatever frequency you're being, you will bring in what is a vibrational match for that. You will live in the energy and frequency that supports that. So the more that you live in the now, following frequency and energy, following what excites and ignites you. And I honestly, if you deal in any way with anxiety, and I am not ever trying to downplay it, like, I know it is a severe thing. I have spent years working with kids and adults and everyone in shifting and dealing with this. I understand how debilitating it can be, but I also know that when you can shift your paradigm, when you can shift your consciousness in any moment when you breathe. Like there's no more powerful tool in the now for shifting your energy and your frequency than being here, breathing, and playing with reality, doing something fun, enjoying your life, reading a joke. I could have made the worst out of yesterday if I wanted to. I could have suffered through it all. I could have bitched and complained about the fact that my house smelled like shit all day, that I couldn't get any of the things done that I needed to, blah, blah, blah. But reality was what it was. So instead of fighting against life, I'm not so delusional that I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and quantum jump into a reality where I'm in a different house and this isn't happening, because we can only quantum shift and jump to the level of our belief system. So my belief system, because I'm still fucking human, and as human beings, there is gonna be a delay between the things that we can imagine and them being right in front of us, depending on the circumstances of our belief system. Okay. So let's just go back to yesterday. I could have sat here all day if I was really wanting to be delusional and just been like, this isn't happening. I'm going to sit here and meditate this away. And I know that my belief system isn't going to support that. So instead, I chose the mindset of, this is all working out in my favor. The best case scenario is happening right now. And I just kept following literally the energy of even just like who to call to help me. Honestly, I'd given up on finding anyone to come and emergency pump the septic. And then I randomly came across this name and I called it. They basically are my neighbors, came at like 3:30, finally, anyways, pumped us out, blah, blah, blah. I could make something so shitty magic. And yes, I get that I've always innately had this ability to do this, but I spent a lot of time thinking and being told that there was something wrong with me, that I was bypassing, that I was being fake and unrealistic. No, I'm not going to create my own suffering. As Buddha said, like, this is literally what's happening. So I'm going to deal with this situation. I'm going to make the best of it. Had great laughs with the plumber. Really grateful that I don't have his job. Very grateful that I don't have his job. Like, there was so much magic in it, as there is in anything. In anything, when we stop resisting and fighting against life and trying to make things different than they are, and we accept what is going on, we breathe, and we make the best of it. Why not? I, again, could have made the worst of yesterday. I could have suffered my way through it, but I would have been choosing that. I chose the identity of, I'm just going to live life today as it's meant to. This is meant to get dealt with. And honestly, there ended up being so much that this plumber found that if it hadn't been dealt with yesterday, things would have gotten a lot worse real fast. So nothing ultimately bad happened. And now I just feel good. And so does my boyfriend, in knowing that this is all cleaned out and dealt with, and cameras have been down there and the whole thing. And it is, because we're on a well here. So there's a lot that can go wrong. Anyways, I'm sure you guys are getting my point. So back to your identity being your superpower. Our identity is up to us to create. So if you in any way have, looked into your human design and your astrology, or you've had your charts read, there's so much that will tell us, oh, our sun sign is our identity. It's our personality. Our profile is our personality. Our moon sign is our deep emotional self. Our inner authority is how we best live life. Yes, all of these things are very true in being ways to understand your energetics more, for the fact and sake of your self-conscious mind having understanding, but you still have to live and embody it. And every single sign and energy type and inner authority, or whatever it is that you resonate with the work that you've done to know who you are, besides just being who you are, all of that there's negative and positive. You can Google anything about any sun sign and find all sorts of negative shit, all sorts of positive shit. And what we choose to adapt and take on as our identity is going to be what we are. I'm a Libra, sun sign. I'm a Libra in a lot of my chart. I very much resonate with Libra energy, but there's a lot of negative things to being a Libra on like the 3 and 40 levels of consciousness, of being indecisive and being people pleasers and all these things. And for so long, I lived like that. I just made that my story of like, we give permission to it. Like, oh, this is just how I'm designed to be. I'm designed to be indecisive. I'm designed to people please. All of these things need to be used to empower us, is basically what I'm getting at. When I look now at being a Libra, just to keep it simple, I can see that, yes, I love to weigh all the options. I love beauty. I love people. I love love. And I feel deeply. I'm highly sensitive. I'm a sacral generator. I work in the now. I can use all of those things to empower me. I am not going to use them to work against me. And I encourage you to do the same. If in any way there's anything right now that you are telling you is your identity, that is not what you want to be, you don't have to choose to be it, I guess, is ultimately what I'm trying to say. Whatever you have been told, you have read, you have taken on in any way, any belief in any way that you have taken on, that this is how you are, that this is your identity, that this is how you're designed to show up in the world, erase it. Let go of it. Clear it out. Release it. Stop building up these bullshit lies about yourself that you are anything less than divine, and that you don't know in any moment how to be the identity that you want to be, because you do. You know, you are here. You found this video for a reason, because when you are you, nothing feels easier or more effortless. Like right now, doing this video feels so fucking easy, but I can see my unconscious and self-conscious minds being like, what are you even talking about? Is anyone even going to resonate with this? You aren't making sense, blah, blah, blah. Like we can see all these things, but that's not me, because I can observe that. I can sit here and see myself, obviously, right now, recording this. No makeup, just woke up, hair's greasy, don't really fucking know what I'm saying, because I never do when I'm saying it. I say I know after when I process it. That's how it works to be when you're a conscious channel, when you're consciously choosing to be a conscious channel. And I can see all of that because I am the observer of that, just like you are the observer of your thoughts and your beliefs. And that is your superpower, is that identity, that part of you, the soul, the super consciousness, your highest self, however you want to identify with it, the consciousness that you are here to be an expression of. You are here to be divine love and light expressed through your humanness. And the more that you allow yourself to just be here now and choose the identity you want to be in this now moment. I was listening to, I don't know why this is coming up, but it's coming up and we're just going to keep going with it. I was listening to, who was it? Michael Singer. And he was talking about people that are smokers, that think that they can't stop smoking or will ask. I don't remember exactly how. Again, I don't memorize anything. But I'll regurgitate what I remember and what stored in me, which is that if you want to quit smoking or quit anything, all you have to do is not do it. So when he was talking about smoking and he was, I don't know, giving a story about helping someone or working with someone and quitting smoking, who was like, what do I got to do? And hypnotherapy, all these things. And it's like, just don't put the cigarette in your mouth. And I get that we think it's more complicated than that because we've been conditioned to believe that these addictions are a part of us, but they're not. You can choose right now to be the identity that isn't a smoker, that isn't a drinker, that isn't a whatever your addictions are that you know are not serving you, whatever habits and bullshit that you have that aren't serving you, whatever you use and do to numb and run and avoid in the now, living as you're designed to, just don't do it. Be the identity of you that isn't doing it. Don't be the identity of you that is quitting smoking, or you're going to continue being someone that's trying to quit smoking, that used to be a smoker, that used to be a drinker, that works every day to not have a drink. Just don't do it. Don't choose it if you know it's not serving you. You are the only one that can do that. And I'm not saying that there aren't things that can help you, but you will know what that is. You are not going to quit smoking, quit drinking, quit numbing, quit scrolling on social media for hours, quit over shopping, quit just fucking denying your divinity until you want to, until you truly choose to. And until then, you also have to trust that everything is working out in your favor. We will keep having this bullshit that stops and blocks us from living as we innately are until we're ready to. And I know that all too well, all too well. I want you to see that the power that you hold is here and now. It is here, right now, in your consciousness. You are consciousness. It's what you are aware and awake and conscious of now. If in any moment you catch yourself in negative beliefs, in limiting self-talk or self-sabotage, or doing, being, saying anything that you know is not aligned, that is not right for you, that is not how you want to be, pause, breathe, and just shift your consciousness to whatever you want to focus on. Put on something inspiring. This is why affirmations and meditation and anything positive that you can listen to or play is so effective, because it can shift our paradigm. But we need to take the power to be able to do that in any moment. So just pausing and breathing and asking yourself, what is the best choice for you now? The best choice for you now isn't going to be to sit and beat yourself up over what you just did that you regret doing. That's not going to serve you. I have a client that a couple weekends ago fell back into her old patterning and her old programming. And she was really beating herself up and in a shame spiral. And we shifted it so fast by her just breathing and seeing through some super conscious recoding that was all just to show her how unaligned she is with that behavior anymore, how that is not how she wants to be, because she has been doing so much work, living so super consciously, really had a lot of things going for her. And then this happened, and it was like, okay, well, you can take that as now you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you can't do this. Or you can see, okay, this really isn't me anymore. And I'm just going to take that as a lesson and move on. And now the next time that these opportunities come up to fall into that programming, you have that memory of like, it's just not fucking worth it. That's not who I am here to be. We are the only ones that can choose to be who we want to be. No one else can do it for you. Your identity is your superpower. You innately, as you are designed to be, which you don't have to know. You can dig deep into all your codes as much as you want, and it does empower you, abso-fucking-lutely. Like knowing things, having knowing and understanding and logic around your energetics is incredibly powerful, again, for your self-consciousness, for your ego, which we aren't getting rid of. So we might as well empower our ego as to how great we are. But we still have to live and be it. So when in the now you allow yourself to live super consciously, following the energy and frequency, wherever it is guiding and leading you, following that, following through on what that is showing you to do, and just living life, allowing life to happen. Stop thinking that you have any control over anything outside of you. Everything is going on. But what you are conscious and aware of is what's your reality. Like, think of you right now, you're conscious and aware of this video and of me. But think of all the other things going on in the world that are going on without you focused on them. This is your reality right here and now. So the more that you focus on and do things that excite and ignite you, that empower you, that feel aligned for you, that doing things where you feel embodied, where you feel present, where you are enjoying yourself. When we stop trying to make things different than they are, when we stop trying to control and manipulate, life gets so good. The only thing that you have any control over is your response to anything going on for you. So when you respond to life through presence and enjoyment and acceptance of what is, and then you see what isn't aligned, where you don't feel limitless, where you don't feel free. When you see that and you acknowledge that and you allow it to be there, and you don't shame or blame or guilt or get angry about it, and you just acknowledge that it is what it is, and then choose different, choose better, be who you want to be the vulnerable, authentic you in that moment. Because that is how you are going to get to all of those dreams and desires and visions and everything that you see of what you can and could be. It is all here for you. Everything is happening now. Whatever, and this is quantum physics has proven this. Every reality, every identity that you can envision, that you can imagine exists. But you have to choose to be that version of you. If you envision and imagine and do all of the law of attraction, law of assumption, all of the work, fall asleep to affirmations and things playing super powerful, not knocking it, has created a lot of fucking magic for me. But we have to then, in reality, when we're living our lives, we have to choose to be that version of us too, not just in our dreams, in our day-to-day life. We have to show up as the version of us that we want to be. So again, you can keep choosing to be the limited version of you. You can keep choosing to be the version of you that isn't free, that sees the negativity, the fears, and creates it as your identity and reality. Or you can be conscious and aware of the fact that it's there, but see that you are free, that you are limitless, that you get to choose what you do in any now moment and what you take as your truth. Okay. So thank you for letting me soul spill, brain dump with you this morning. Whenever you're seeing this, know it's divinely timed and aligned. And just know that you found this video, it found you for a reason. Before every single video, I sit here and I breathe and I connect into the superconscious field, and I manifest that this video comes through however it's meant to, and finds whoever needs it right on time, divinely aligned, when it is going to shift your paradigm so that you can see how free you are to live limitlessly, how beautiful, how brilliant, how innately magical and powerful you are, because you are. You are, and you are here to live in the new earth frequency, in the 5D consciousness of love and light and imagination and blissful creation. You are, or you wouldn't still be resonating with this video. You wouldn't still be listening to me. Thank you for playing in the 5D with me. Thank you for playing in my super conscious mind for a bit. Allow your superpower to create your reality. Allow your identity to create your reality, but allow your identity to be what you want to be, how you want to be. The more that you live super consciously in the now, everything that is going to guide and lead you to what you need to do, to realize, to listen to find out about yourself, everything that is going to expand and ascend you higher and wider is going to feel easy and effortless. It's going to feel exciting. So you're still going to, the modalities and the courses and the classes and the activations and the meditations and the whatever it is that is going to help you connect to your divinity is still important, but you only need to do what excites you. Because again, that is how we live super consciously. Your super conscious mind can conceive it all. It sees all the timelines. You connect to the reality, the identity that you want to be, and it will lead and guide you through frequency and energy. It is so freeing when you allow frequency and energy to lead you. The thoughts and the bullshit are still going to happen. But the more and more conscious and awake and aware you are, the easier and easier it gets to shift your consciousness. And when we shift our consciousness, when we shift our paradigm, we quantum shift our reality. We quantum jump, quantum leap into a reality where we are choosing to be who we want to be, which is ultimately all that we need to do. It's all we're meant to do. It's all we're here to do. Live today as freely, as easily, as effortlessly as you can, consciously connecting in any moment to right here and now, and just choosing what feels best and right for you and see what happens. Okay, love you.